Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille. Tonight, it'll be the
Utah Jazz have a Western Conference contest up. Now let's get it quick.
Well, guys, he told me they're up against the team.
Thank you, David. Hey, Brent, the season about halfway through. Some teams really starting to sag. How bad do you have to be at this point to start thinking about rebuilding going into next year?
I don't know. It's a bit tenuous, Kevin. Do you start talking about rebuilding or just giving guys on your roster now an opportunity to experience some NBA play, giving them high-level competition? You know, some of the players may be going to Summer League. They want to have a bit of confidence going to Vegas or to Orlando to expand their game. So maybe not so much about a rebuild as it is about gaining experience at the close of the season.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. Skilled tandem of Leonard and Aldridge at the 3 and the 4. The timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. And it's Gasol at the pivot spot manning the middle.
Kind of a ticky-tack foul there, but you have to be aware that's how the refs are going to blow the whistle tonight.
Favors with the screen. 6 on the shot clock. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game. Johnson against Leonard. Hood for 3. No good on the shot. On defense, Utah. It's a 3-point game, fresh from a win against Portland.
And when you shoot a high percentage from distance, that gives you momentum and really keeps the opponent on the road.
Well, accurate outside shooting when you're on the road, you find that kind of rhythm. It's hard to do. They made it look easy.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Another whistle, and he's got to be careful with his foul situation.
Mills, he's checked in for San Antonio. We're about 1 minute into the first. And Rubio kicks to Johnson. Nice ball movement by Utah. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep 3-point range. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Hood.
And the Utah Jazz, historically, they've always been one of the better franchises in the NBA. And it was nice to see them back in the playoffs in 2017 after that 4-year rebuilding phase. It tied their longest playoff drought since the team moved to Utah.
Mills with the steal. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
For a guy who makes his living behind the 3-point line, Mills looks comfortable there, taking it inside.
Utah's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Rubio dishes to Hood. Tipped away. Pass to Gobert. He kicks it to Johnson. Gobert, the screen. Lock at 6. Here's Hood. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio.
And maybe that'll get them going. They need to find a rhythm.
Well, it took a while for them to earn their first 2 points, but in the NBA, things can happen quickly.
And with the emergence of Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge has become a secondary scorer in San Antonio. Brent, how do you like him in that role?
Well, I think that's where LaMarcus Aldridge really fits best, even in his time in Portland with the tremendous offensive output he had as one of the Blazers' greatest of all time. He's sometimes not leaned upon as being the primary scorer, even though that low block basically belongs to LaMarcus Aldridge.
Now here's Favors. 11 points last game. It's rebounded by Aldridge.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Feeds it to Mills. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And there's the call on Ginobili. That's his first foul.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
And the Jazz with some changes. Udo's checked in for Favors. Joe Ingles comes in for Joe Johnson. And it's Mitchell in for Hood. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Rudy Gay's checked in for Leonard. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. Now here's Gobert. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Portland.
I'm not sure in that game if it was him or Dikembe Mutombo out there, guys. I was just hoping to see one finger wave after one of those 4 blocks. No, 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 not today.
And so it's San Antonio with it after the basket by Utah. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Alec Burks checked in for the Jazz. And San Antonio with the change here, too. DeJounte Murray, he's checked in for Patty Mills. 1:32 left here in the first quarter. And now Utah, fast break. Here's Ingles, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And a look here at the scoring trend over the last several months for Hood.
Look, sometimes you go up, sometimes down, and the trend has been on the downward side in terms of his average points per game. And a variety of factors can be the culprit. And a lot of times you focus on the efficiency more than just pure point output.
And Greg Popovich has led the Spurs to the playoffs in all 20 of the full seasons he's coached the team. But you know what, Brent? He always gives his players the credit.
Well, Pop knows that the players are the ones who deserve all of the accolades. There's no doubt that there's an appreciation for the way that Pop continues to put his team and each member of the team into situations where they collectively can compete every year. And it's not about just competing for the playoffs, Kevin. I'm talking about competing for titles. What a run that Greg Popovich has been on.
Now Anderson following Alec Burks' three-point attempt. Green passes to Laverne. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
The Jazz making a switch here. Cephalosha's checked in. Bertanis, he's checked in for the Spurs.
How about the Spurs clinching their 20th straight playoff appearance last season? An amazing run, more than twice as long as the next active streak. And the longest streak in the league was the Sixers from 1950 to 1971. I think the Spurs are going to get past them.
Now here is Cephalosha. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, I think coaches right here are always talking about the extra pass. And a contested three is not your objective. One more, maybe.
They set the screen. Mitchell kicks to Burks. Solid as a rock from 20 feet away. Burks has got his first 2 points of the night. Deep 2 from Murray. No good on the buzzer beater. And so it's San Antonio holding on to an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And Joe Johnson, very encouraged by this team's strong play of late.
Well, I think the approach is a lot different.
Joe Johnson has obviously been on both sides of that equation, and there's no doubt he is a much happier guy now that he expects to win.
You know, no better feeling than every time you take the court, you know if you do X, Y, Z, you have a chance to win. And Joe Johnson has seen them all since he joined the league way back when with the Celtics and quickly traded to Phoenix. Now he's on the upside again and mature enough to appreciate.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Spurs team out there.
Yeah, getting an early boost from the bench, that's been the difference here so far.
Well, a good coach always optimizes his rotation, and in the first quarter, he did a great job of that.
Joe Ingles is out there with Cephalosha. Then there's Udoh. Then there's Alec Burks. And it's Mitchell in at the point. That's the group for Utah getting going here in the second. A different look for Utah. Favors comes in for Joe Ingles, and Hood subbed in for Mitchell. The Spurs also changing it up. Aldridge comes in for Laverne, and Kawhi Leonard comes in for Kyle Anderson. Brent, each coach has his strengths, and they've got weaknesses, but if you needed someone to draw up a play to get you one bucket out of a timeout, who are some of the names you turn to?
I think I'm going to turn to Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, possibly James Harden, because 2 points can happen after a free throw, right, Kev? So I could get James Harden to the line, and then one LeBron James. That's not a bad list of guys to turn to if I need 2 points.
Absolutely. And then what coach would you have draw up that play?
If I don't say Pop, my life will cease to exist. I will say Greg Popovich in late game situations does a marvelous job. Not only, Kevin, of getting the ball to the guy that he wants potentially to get the game winner, but to have options and to make sure that that player sees those options in case something breaks down.
And the Jazz making a change here. Rubio's checked in.
Well, primetime years for Joe Johnson meant ISO Joe for his ability to score one-on-one, a style of offense that's lost a little bit of its favor, but it remains effective for Joe.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Rubio dishes to Hood, and there's the call on Ginobili. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
And they can't afford to be that careless. They need him out there on the floor, so he has to avoid fouling again in this period.
Down low, and stolen by Aldridge.
Well, a little head scratcher there, guys. There's no reason to force the ball inside like that. I understand the thought process, but the pass just has to be better.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
And that is a statement. We're going to keep coming at you hard, even if we've got the lead.
Here is Favors. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Shot clock at 6. Favors with a screen on Leonard. Off the screen. Another miss by Utah.
I love the anticipation defensively there to get into the perfect spot. And guys, it was just announced last season that the Jazz had transferred the team's ownership to a legacy trust intended to keep the team in Utah for generations to come. Oh, yikes! Look out below! About that finish.
Oof.
It looks like an orange in his hand, and Kawhi tenacious to the rim with that finish.
Special thanks to Under Armour for that sweet replay we just saw. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Favors with the screen. Sefolosha passes to Favors. Unable to get that one. Nice D from Aldridge. Leonard kicks to Aldridge. And the dunk by Aldridge.
Great size and great balance for a big man. Aldridge does a superb job of finishing through the contact.
Favors with the screen. Here's Rubio. Out of hand on it. And a fast break now for the Spurs. And Aldridge slams it in.
And nicely done. Running the floor well, then attacking the rim.
The exclamation point in transition with the high percentage finish.
Rubio dishes to Hood. Back to Rubio. Favors with the screen. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
Ooh, excellent work getting that close to the basket. Got to be happy getting those type of shots.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
Away from home, you got to execute, and they did that flawlessly.
Never really perfect on the offensive end, and probably 1 or 2 possessions they'd love to have back, but on the whole, a tremendous synergy on offense.
Looking at who's out there now for the Jazz. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Favors. Joe Ingles comes in for Sefolosha. And it's Mitchell in for Hood. Mitchell. They get it back. Here's Gobert. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
They did a better job of getting it inside in that first. They've lost some of that physical edge here.
A different look for Utah. Udo's checked in for Johnson. And Alec Burks subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Ingles against Gay. Gobert with the defensive effort. Jazz trail by 13. Burks on the wing. We've got 28 seconds left now here in the second. They set the pick. Ingles kicks to Burks. Goes up the baseline. San Antonio with the rebound. They led by as many as 18 points. Last time they met was in San Antonio.
And the last time these teams met, it was a walk in the park, and everybody got in on the act. Their bench was spectacular in that win.
Well, they built up the big lead and then let the second unit get out there and do their work. And you're right, the guys coming in off the bench were spectacular. They put up a ton of points.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well,
okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime
Ernie Johnson
Show.
Here. Got Shaq. Got Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome. It's San Antonio out on top at halftime. They are leading by 12. Shaq, what did you see from San Antonio?
Well, the offense is running on all cylinders. Guys are focused, executing, not playing outside of themselves. That's why their shooting percentage was so high.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get.
Bus streets and buildings of Salt Lake City lit up gorgeously as we. Jazz trail by 12. Here's who Greg Popovich is starting in the second half. Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard, the two stars at the forward spots. Mills and Manu at the guard. And it's Gasol at the 5 down low. And while we can, let's have a look at the 2K leaderboard to find out who have been the most efficient scorers in the NBA this month. Kawhi Leonard on top, 4th Pau Gasol.
Both of these guys have been shooting with tremendous efficiency as the month has gone on. I don't know who's going to outdo who.
And so the ball's out of bounds. Favors touched it last. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for Utah.
And they concentrated a lot on creating open looks from beyond the arc. Player movement, finding space on the perimeter, that was their #1 priority.
Rubio, the pass to Hood. Knocked away. Stolen by Ginobili. In transition, here comes San Antonio, and it goes out of bounds. That one's off Parker.
A moment here to look at the numbers for Kawhi Leonard. How last month turned out for him, averaging 9 points per game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. Just solid all-around performances we've been seeing from him, delivering night in and night out.
And I like it when stars do exactly that. It's not just about scoring 50 or 40 or 30. It's about making plays consistently.
Shot clock at 6. Hood kicks to Johnson. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
And for a player who didn't enter the league with breakdown ability off the dribble, guess what? Kawhi will break you down.
We see it so often. A player will languish in one system, then flourish in another. Brent, during your 14-year career, which coach's system fit you the best?
Well, I think my years in Seattle, we opened up the offense a little bit. I had the opportunity to play more of a point off guard. But I also enjoyed the structure of what Greg Popovich's system in San Antonio offered up as well. It's always interesting, Kevin, with players who are languishing on benches for other ball clubs, how general managers start to assess whether that guy can be part of something great if they were to bring him in. I had the opportunity to play for a lot of great coaches and thought that I mixed up my game enough to make it a long career.
And the Jazz call time here.
The passing of the torch in San Antonio is one of the more remarkable things about the NBA. And just as one superstar decides to retire, another one steps up and emerges as one of the best players in the league. That is Kawhi Leonard, becoming the franchise player.
Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Joe Johnson. San Antonio also making some changes. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. And Murray's subbed in for Manu Ginobili. Leonard kicks to Aldridge. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. They get Derek Favors.
Shooting fewer free throws as he's moved his game to the perimeter, Aldridge still has the capacity to force you to foul.
And to see how far Kawhi Leonard has come as a player from his days at San Diego State to where he is now, Brent, a testament to his work ethic and the player development staff, certainly, of the Spurs.
Well, Chip England is the shooting coach in San Antonio, has worked diligently with Kawhi Leonard, even to the point where Chip gets tired that Kawhi calls him up so much. Kawhi Leonard just wants to be the best player he can possibly be and maximize that potential. Any coaching staff would be proud of a player like that.
For San Antonio, they have been excellent at the free throw line. Here today, a flawless 6 for 6.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Hood kicks to Favors. Got a piece of it. And Ricky Rubio gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Mitchell, he's checked in for Hood. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession. And Utah has possession, trailing by 19. Favors sets the pick for Rubio. Outside Favors. The 3 from Sefolosha. Drains it from beyond the arc. Sefolosha's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Here's Laverne. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 3 assists tonight.
And given that Laverne is almost 7 feet tall, it's no surprise that he uses his length once he's deep down on the inside.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. And he uses the glass on the layup. Gobert's got 5 points so far.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. That athletic ability there.
The strength and that body that Kawhi has, he finishes through contact as well as anyone in the league.
And that last replay, courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Poke loose. Here we go, all alone, and the dunk by Aldridge.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Mitchell dishes to Gobert. And Laverne hits the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. A different look for Utah. Udo's checked in for Favors. Joe Ingles comes in for Sefolosha. And Alec Burks subbed in for Ricky Rubio. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Anderson, he's checked in for Aldridge. Gay comes in for Leonard. Green, he's checked in for DeJounte Murray. And it's Mills in for Parker. Mitchell passes to Udo. The dish to Mitchell. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. The first free throw is good. Pau Gasol is checked in for Laverne. And Mitchell drops them both. Spurs leading by 18. Here's Anderson. It's rebounded by Udo. The Jazz have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Mitchell kicks to Gobert. Gobert, the screen. Nice ball movement by Utah. Passes it to Burks. 5 to shoot. Here's Udo, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Gasol dishes to Mills. And finished off by Gasol.
Dare I say Gasol graceful on the dunk attempt? That's alliteration, Kevin.
Mitchell passes to Burks. With some arc. That shot off. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs controlling the game and finishing the quarter with a 20-point lead. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back to the action after this word.
Who's got next? We're kicking off the All-Star festivities with a showcase of the best of the league's up-and-coming talent. It's the Rising Stars Challenge.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up. Spurs leading by 20. They've got Mitchell. Gobert is out there with Johnson. And it's Joe Ingles. And it's Burks in at the 2. That's the group right now for Utah.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Mitchell kicks to Johnson. Here's Mitchell, covered by Mills. Pass to Ingles. Up top, Gobert. The 9-foot shot. Anderson with the block.
Good intensity on defense. Kyle Anderson using the length that time and timing it well to get the rejection.
Here's Gasol. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Gobert with the defensive effort. Burks kicks to Mitchell. Shoots from 12. And he hits the jumper for 2.
Joe is a scorer and a shooter, but it always looks prettiest from the mid-range.
Anderson right side. Outside for Gasol. He feeds it to Gay. A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. The shot, no good.
He's been a little bit disappointing in this game. However, his team has his back. They need a little bit more help from him.
Brent, all things being equal, do you like the idea of sending everyone to the defensive glass to avoid giving away second chance points, or do you like leaking a guy or two out in transition, hoping for the best?
I don't think the leak out is a good idea at all, Kevin. You got to have 5 guys attentive to any possession. Most coaches in the NBA will tell you that a possession is not a stop until you collect the defensive rebound. Yeah, just misjudged the layup. Defense has to be better. Very fortunate there.
Mitchell kicks to Hood. Dishes to Gobert. The feed now to Mitchell. Gobert, the screen. 6 on the shot clock. Mitchell. And poor shot selection there. Not a high percentage look for him. Gay dishes to Ginobili. Good work there as it goes.
Timeout, timeout. Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Utah calls timeout. Brent, the NBA has a new CBA, a collective bargaining agreement. How big a win is this for everyone involved?
I don't think the league has been in a better situation than it is right now, Kevin. And for the fact that labor discussions all took place behind closed doors without anything sneaking out underneath them, I think it was great for the league. It's been great for Adam Silver. It's been great for the Players Association. So it's nice to see the train keep rolling.
Gobert with a screen on Parker. From 6 feet, the Jazz with another miss. Spurs leading by 20. Leonard kicks to Aldridge. And stolen by Favors. Rubio against Parker. Rubio the pass to Johnson. That's in. Coming off an assist from Rubio. 8 points for Johnson.
Oh, Joe Johnson, a good shooter for all the time he spent in the NBA. That's solid.
Parker kicks to Gasol. Ginobili dishes to Aldridge. And the rejection by Favors. And he recovers it. Gasol passes to Parker. Here's Aldridge. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Spurs lead by 19.
And with time becoming a factor, that may do it, guys.
Well, leads are not given. They are earned. Playing with desire and attention to detail all night.
No one covering.
And Joe Johnson unselfish with that play. You can call his number just about any time, but turning down a good shot for a great one, good on you, Joe.
Parker kicks to Gasol. And finished off by Gasol.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for San Antonio.
The differential in assists led to a lot of open looks, and it also helped to get more guys involved in the offense easy.
And they made the defense adjust, but they just couldn't come up with an answer.
And for the year now, they'll have 52 wins under their belt.
And this will be their 3rd win in 3 tries against these guys. They match up so well.
And when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Well, he could not be stopped on offense. Super efficient tonight. There wasn't a lot the defense could do.
Rubio dishes to Hood, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Gasol kicks to Ginobili. To the paint. And the dunk by Aldridge.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
Now the team came in fired up from the opening tip. You could see the focus. They're ready to do battle.
And Favors kicks to Rubio. Favors with the screen. The Jazz working the ball around now. Kicks it out to Johnson. Here's the floater. A shot off that time. Solid defense there from Ginobili. At the elbow, it's Gasol. Outside Leonard. Gobert with the block. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a massive.